Alright, like, click subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. It's Netflix time. This movie is called Pil-Ho, The Dawning Rage. On the run from a dud international affairs agent, a corrupt cop reluctantly teams up with a defiant team to unravel a conspiracy before it's too late. It's a Korean drama that came out 2018, about 2 hours long. This is one of the wildest movies I've ever seen, yo. Spoiler alert, let's get it. So the year is 2015. You got this guy named Han robbing a store. Got his drill and all that shit. Drills a hole in the wall and gets the cash. But I guess he gets stuck around too long because he gets spotted by this random dude. But this dirty cop comes up from behind and knocking this dude out who happens to be Pil-Ho. Well, anyway, they get about 35 grand even though he tried to tell him 29 grand because he tried to stick some in his pocket. He's like, man, if you don't put that shit back in the bag. And he's always got this habit of just smacking people, yo. That's what he does. That's what he does most of the movie. No, legitimately, he's always smacking somebody around. It's hilarious. Next day, he's chilling with his wife. He gets a call from the station. They rounded up some random guys. He goes to the station to check out the suspects. One of the kids they rounded up wasn't his boys for his little operation, so they was like, hey, we gonna let him go. But you know, they got smack him around and shit, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, just smacking people around, yo. You see, stuff the money in the pocket, you know, smack his ass around. So anyway, he gives him a Bible. And of course, the inside of it got the cash in there. Then they got the superiors above him. They keep fucking with him or whatever like that because they know he takes bribes, but they can't prove the shit. He's like, yeah, you know I'm gonna catch you in the act eventually. He's like, nigga, the only thing you gonna catch is a cold. Get the fuck out of my face. Then later on, he drives over to this building. And he works for these supposed random mafia niggas. So he's got like 30,000 now, but he needs like 59,000 so he could buy this building off and retire or something like that. And so to do that, he's got to do another inside job. So he's getting on the elevator to go see the dude Han he's been working with to get this mission popping. And this chick named Mina is riding on the elevator. And why is she important? Because she knows Han too. She's like, hey, give me the money. He basically on some bullshit. Then she smacks him in the head with a fucking bottle. Like, nigga, give me this goddamn money. Mina ain't playing that shit. So anyway, he goes back in the house. He counts up the other money. He's like, man, that's your girlfriend or something? He's like, nah, we cool. But anyway, we got another job to do. So this time they got a big score they're gonna hit. The only problem is they're gonna hit up a freaking police warehouse. He's like, are you fucking serious? Another mafia dude got his boy out there too to cut the wires. Puts a box over the security camera. Now the mafia dude's gotta make sure he clips the white wires to make sure that nothing go haywire. But this motherfucker looking like he don't know what wire to clip. He's like, dude, you good? He's like, yeah, I got it. So Han breaks down the door, everything's good to go. So Han's inside, everything's all good. This dude clipped the wire. Unfortunately, this motherfucker doesn't know if he clipped the white wire because he's colorblind. How the fuck you did not know your man was colorblind? That's number one. And two, why would you have him on this mission? So Joe gets the word this shit is fucked up. He's like, I'm about to go in. So as he gets to the door, he's about to go in. The door just slams shut all of a sudden. And there's a light coming from the inside of it. All of a sudden, that shit blows the fuck up. What in all of the fuck? Yeah, that shit definitely blew up with your boy inside. But why is the question? Next thing you know, Joe wakes up in a fucking hospital. Next thing you know, he's talking to the police chief. Police chief is like, what the fuck is going on? So since he had a burner phone, the first thing he did is start looking for his phone so he could destroy that shit. Somehow his wife was able to find it. He takes that shit, flushes his SIM card, and breaks the phone. No more evidence. Then we got police on the scene. Turns out there was one burnt body and a phone. A burnt phone. But in actuality, this crazy motherfucker named Cho Lee was the one that picked up the phone. Now the doctor working on it said it won't be fixed for like another couple days. Now why was he there anyway? Turns out he works for the Tassel Monsoon Company and they're looking for some incriminating video. Later on, he's doing an investigation on the body and all that. See, he's worried about this thing linking back to him because he's been on some undercover crooked cop shit. But the video thing is something way different. I'll explain that later. So he goes back to Han's house and goes through one of the phones that happened to have Mina on his face on it. So he goes through surveillance tapes trying to find this chick. Later on, they call him in to solve some crime that's about to be tied into the original thing that they're talking about. Then we got this guy about to go to the bathroom. Come to find out, this guy knows about the video and he's the one that made the detonators to blow up the police warehouse. He doesn't think he's safe, so he's threatening to tell the police what he knows. Right in the next stall, this crazy motherfucker gets him on a rope and starts hanging him. How he even got it over his neck from the other stalls beyond my comprehension. But yeah, this nigga's crazy and he done deals him. Later on, Joe meets up with this guy named Ji Won. His daughter was killed and he was supposed to be dead like a year ago. That's a wild ass story that they'll show later. Matter of fact, no, this is the flashback. When they go back into the news, he's watching and sees the incident that happened. So this is a year ago when he was supposed to be dead. But he's with Ji Won the whole time while they're saying that shit. The reason why he was faking his death, I have no idea. Some type of international incident took place. Well, back then they were hiding in a hotel and the police came busting through looking for this nigga. They were trying their best to hide him, but they ended up somehow finding him down the hallway. It was a wild exchange of events. And this is where this huge fight occurred and how Cho originally got that scar on his head. And then we go back to present day. And then in Ji Wong's house as they had a shrine up to his daughter. See, his daughter just happens to be Mina's best friend. And he needs to find Mina because she got some information on her phone. So later on he gets with some of his computer texts and hacks into a certain phone and finds some text messages. It's basically with Han and Mina chilling. On the other side of town, around, Chi-Lon's showing his boss his handiwork. He hung the guy and got the detonators. The one with no shirt on is the leader of the Taechuan company. And you know his right-hand man, Chi-Lon. So the thing is, the police are looking for $780 million. They're looking for this girl with the phone and the video. It's got some incriminating evidence on it, but we don't know what it is yet. So seeing as how he killed the only other witness or any other the guy that can explain anything, the prosecutor's stuck in a bind. And basically, you can't touch the chief. So of course he gets all scot-free. So he gives a smug bullshit speech about the police have been smearing our name in the dirt and all this other stuff. We're the #1 company in Korea, blah, blah, blah. Of course, man, he gets back to the office. He's like, find that girl and get that video. Later on, Joe picks up this guy that Mina knows very well. He's basically going to use him to get to her. He knocks on the door talking about a package or some shit like that. He gets her and her sister outside, but they end up whipping his ass. There's some ladies about to call the police. He's like, I am the police. They get in the room. He's like, man, where's the money? She ain't trying to give up the money. Then he cuffs her in the backseat of the car like, look, we don't get this damn money. He's got her and her sister back there. She starts causing all this ruckus. He almost drives into another car. Then all of a sudden, she's having a seizure and shit. He gives the sister the keys to uncuff her, but she faked that shit, grabbed a taser, and tased his ass. He drove off the road and drove into a dirt pile. She's trying to get the phone or the bag, but she ain't got time to get it. She ends up running, but her sister's really sick for real. Not really sure what her sister has, but she's out there calling for help. Meanwhile, Joe comes back to the station. He's actually being questioned by everybody else. So he thinks they got evidence on him about some money, about Han, and about a phone. But before they go haywire, Chi gets to him for questioning. He puts him in the interrogation room and then cuts the cameras off. Then it shows a flashback of what really happened in the warehouse. Alright, so you got some people from the Francois company that was actually already in there. They had a bunch of plans and everything mapped out, but that's what Han was actually recording. So that's the video they're looking for. Now they say Han was murdered. He wasn't killed in a fire. And why is that? Because he had gashes on his head. So where did those gashes come from? Well, the guys that caught up to him and hit him with a metal fucking pipe. So yeah, he died right then and there before the building exploded. He tells Joe with his rap sheet, you could be in jail for a decade. The thing is, we will erase that shit clean if you get the video. Joe's thinking about it, but at this point he's like, man, I ain't got no choice. Because all he was doing with his shit was just trying to get money. These company niggas is out here killing niggas. So the thing is, he actually has the bag and has Nina's phone. The only problem is, he needs it to get unlocked. Yeah, he doesn't have the code, he can't get through it, so he's probably gonna need Mina. Meanwhile, you got this crazy nigga in the house, and as he's about to go use the bathroom, he's got Mina's friend tied up by the toilet. I'm like, oh shit. He pulls out this metal mallet with balls in it, it's like, oh boy, he about to go to work. Yeah, you about to get done. So he goes back to the apartment, ain't nobody there. This nigga breaks in and gets the bag with the cash, but as he's about to dip out, this motherfucker pops up. Oh boy. They have the beef, and Joe ends up getting fucked up, trying to make his ass tap out, wrestling, having ass. Then all of a sudden, Mina pops up. He tosses her down, gets the phone from her. He's about to carve her up. But right before he does, Joe gets back up and pushes her out the fucking window. Bow. Then she throws a flower plant on Chichio's head, knocking him flat out. At least we thought, because he got back up with the quickness. It was like, what the fuck? The lady talked about calling the police, and then that nigga dipped. And then they got away in the whip. She's like, look, give me the money and I'll lock the phone, you got the video. And then she tells him the money's not for me, it's for my sister. She doesn't really specify for what, but he could tell us some serious shit. So he unlocked the phone, see what happened in the warehouse, all that shit. And Mina tells Joe to take her to this clinic. It's the clinic that his sister's in. Turns out she got some type of cancer. He needs him to sign off as a guardian or whatever. As she's checking on her sister, Joe gets a phone call from the chief. He tells her that he's with Mina right now. The chief is like, bring her to me because she's a witness in the case. So afterwards, he's about to pay for her care, but the doctor gives him half his money back so he can smash the patients. Like, this guy's a sick fuck. And because he has morals, he's kind of feeling the girls. He tells everybody he's a cop so they can get out. And he goes in and beats the shit out this doctor. Gives him a well-deserved beating, I might add. Taking advantage of little kids, you piece of filth. Yeah, he's standing up for y'all. He got y'all back. Then he takes him out the facility and brings him to his home so his wife can cook for him and all that shit. Then after that, they go for a ride. So every now and then he keeps bringing up this tracksuit that her best friend used to wear or whatever like that she now still wears. So on the ride, she thinks she's going to her best friend's father's house to get some wonton soup or some chicken or whatever. But in reality, he's about to turn her in so that she'll be safe in protective custody. But when they get to the spot, they find out, who did he see? He see a nigga standing there with a blue suit. Don't tell me it's who I think it is. It's motherfucking Chi-Han. What the hell is this? And they catch her, Mina. What the hell's the meaning of this? Turns out the chief has been working for the two-sad company the whole time. I should have known the moment he was trying to expunge his shit looking for the damn video. So he's like, you know what? I ain't telling you what the damn video is. Fuck out of here. Because even though he has the phone, he knows he made another copy. So he goes to the top of the roof and threatens to throw her off and shit. He's like, it's at the police station. I'll tell you exactly where it is. Like, come on, man, let her go. After he lets her go, he throws some money in her face and tells her to get another phone. He's like, all right, man, you free to go. Get up out of here. Then she calls him petty thugs and all this other stuff, and they catch something that catches me totally off guard. This chick starts walking backwards, and I'm thinking to myself, no. Nah, don't fucking do it, yo. Please don't. And then she fucking jumped. I'm like, oh, shit. What the fuck, man? She fucking jumped off the building, yo. I don't even know what to do with myself at this point. Like, for real, yo. Then these niggas was about to toss him off the building. He was like, no, I'll get you the phone. I'll get you the phone. He's like, you throw me off the building. They'll end up finding the phone and you'll get screwed anyway. So he's like, all right, put him in the car. Then he gets face to face with the boss. He gives him $780,000 to give him the phone. And he's like, all right, you go ahead, go about your business. So at this point, he's probably going to use him for other jobs now at this point. Cause you know he's feeling some type of way after Mina just jumped off a fucking rooftop. Now that he gets his money, he goes back on the rooftop just contemplating shit. Cause really, if it wasn't for her doing what she did, he would be dead. Then we get this flashback to when her best friend's father was in the hospital. Now she said he met him a long time ago, but she couldn't remember. I'm pretty sure he probably couldn't remember because of the gash on his head. It probably left him a concussion. But yep, she did meet him back then to give him a towel. Then we get a flashback of her always celebrating her best friend's birthday. We see again what she really looked like. Yeah, that shit is wild because now both of them are gone. Next morning, he gets up and eats pork soup. His wife is like, man, I thought you hated pork soup. Then he tells his wife he loves it like this is going to be the last time he sees her or some shit. She knows what's up, but she's not feeding into it. Because obviously it hurt her too much to feed into it. Then he goes back in the building with a cast on his arm. So he's there to give him the last phone. He's got to wait out for the boss to get out of a meeting that's going to be like a couple hours. He goes to use the bathroom, calls the boys, tell him his location, tell him about all this shit going down. Then he starts ripping off his cast. In his cast, he has all these pieces that he puts together that makes a fucking gun. I'm like, wow. I'm curious to see if that shit works. And matter of fact, where are the bullets? Apparently he swallowed the bullets, so he has to shit them out. Washes them and cleans them off. Meanwhile, the boss is giving his speech. So as he's ready to come out, this nigga's right at the door like, really? They bum rush and beat the crap out of him. They like, yo, dude, we got security cameras in here, yo. You think we ain't see you? They tie his ass up, throw him in a tub of water, and then close the lid on that shit. So you're thinking to yourself, he's pretty much fucked, right? Yeah. But they leave out the room thinking he's pretty much done. There's a freaking plug. He pulls at that shit with his teeth, I might add, and starts kicking the fucking thing open. There's some ingenuity for your ass. He rubs oil on himself, gets a sock with soap in it, and now he's ready for mayhem. He knocked niggas out, now it's just him and Chio. With beef is on again. So but seeing the struggle, he grabs the coat, gets the gun, and banged off on his ass. Yeah, that shit actually worked. He's out bleeding to death, a whole bunch of money in the door. And it's a room with a bunch of golf carts. That's where the $780 million went. Yeah, Chio's done deal dead. Then he comes out doing his presentation, and got the boss on his knees, bangs off on him, done deal dead, and the cop shoots at Joe. Damn, Joe, what the fuck? So the aftermath from all this is, Joe is somehow still alive. The wife is serving the gangsters who lied and snitched on Joe earlier. And she's like, and y'all got the nerve to talk about shit about him too? He's like, man, get the fuck out of here before I kill you. As far as Sis with the money that Mina gave her, they cured her of the cancer. She's free of it. So she's nice and healthy. And has a garden and going back to school. As Joe's going out to jail, he looks outside the window and he starts hallucinating because he sees Mina, who actually had a smile on her face. Man, this movie was so damn crazy, it was ridiculous. Joe Pil-Ho, The Dawning Rage on Netflix. Check it out, like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. Sleep easy, all easy, mister. Big. Could you got that slogan?